Okay, there was a question that came from my earlier video today about the Starseed mission to the lower astral Earth. And people wanted to know, what does lower astral mean? Okay, well, this is old terminology from, it goes probably back to at least Madame Blavatsky in the late 1800s. Madame Blavatsky was trying to piece together ancient history of Earth. So she liked to talk about the mythical island of Atlantis and another mythical continent called Lemuria. She might have even talked about it. I'm not sure if Lemuria is the same or a similar idea to another continent called Mu, M-U. So this is very old stuff. And where did she get this stuff in the late 1800s? Madame Blavatsky? Uh, well, she must have had a hell of imagination, or she was telling the truth. And part of the truth was she said she was involved with Kut Humi, who by telepathy gave her information. Kut Humi was one of these so-called ascended masters from the Great White Brotherhood. Probably, I'm not sure what Kut Humi is. You can look him up. What else did we want to tell you about this? People want to know about lower astral. So Madame Blavatsky was trying to understand our place in the universe. And so when she was getting these teachers from Kut Humi, these teachings from Kut Humi, it's an odd name, but that's the name. She was getting the idea that beings live in stratified worlds. Stratified means layers. So, like if you're making one of those old-fashioned Bill Cosby, I'm sorry I used his name, but you put like foamy whipped cream and then Jello and then foamy whipped cream and then another color of Jello all in one container, and it would be an acute dessert treat. That's stratification when you have these layers. So Madame Blavatsky was saying, well, there's layers to existences, and on each of these layers or planes, sometimes they're called planes, there are people. So we live at Madame Blavatsky's time in like 1895. People thought that Earth was physical. In other words, it's solid matter. That was the common belief. That was before quantum physics was invented. So people thought, well, the lowest layer is the most dense, and the most dense thing we have here is matter. So, and we're living in a matter universe, so it's at the bottom. And then there were other layers, and different teachers talked about different layers. Some people call the layer next to the physical the etheric layer. And then emotional layer is known as astral layer. And then there's another layer that might be called mental, and then there's like a causal layer and a Buddhic layer. So there's all these odd terms that have been used in theosophy, and various other teachers sometimes dip into these terms. And so where does your mind fit in? Well, mental layer would be your logical mind, and your emotional feelings are astral in nature. But there are some beings that live totally in this astral realm. And this is very hard because I don't understand it. Madame Blavatsky's been dead for 120 years or something, so I can't go and check in with her. And I have to go and piece together little bits and pieces because not every teacher on this subject is in agreement to what these terms mean. So I'm giving you sort of a general idea, best I can, from my understandings. Now, if we look at the scale of human consciousness, it runs from 1 to 1,000. It's a logarithmic scale, and you have to look up and understand logarithms. And I really have a hard time explaining logarithms. Only it's like when you go up 1 point higher on a logarithmic scale, it doesn't mean you're at 2. You go up 1 point, it means you go from 1 to 10. It sounds like kind of like exponential logarithmic. Okay, so on the scale of human consciousness, everything under 200 is a negative field, a negative place. How negative? If you don't parasite somebody who's at a higher vibration, you're going to die in the physical, because it does not support life. It supports death. Very low vibration, it is hostile to biological life. But because people can parasite energy from others, they can manage to live at a very low vibration by continuously stealing energy from others. And we know this even in the animal world. If you're a carnivore, you are a parasite, because you're stealing the energy from some herbivore that you ate for energy to keep you going. And if everybody on planet Earth as a collective is a parasite, you're parasiting one another, and you're parasiting the planet as a whole. So the massive rape and pillage of planet Earth, cutting down on all the forests, polluting, horrible pollutions over the, mining, horrible pollution with mining. People complain about burning fossil fuels. In the old days, they burned coal, which is very dirty and created soot. Los Angeles was famous for smog. The great plastic waste dump in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. All of these things are sort of examples of parasitism, because you're not helping the planet thrive, you're killing it with toxic poisons. So, as I said earlier, the past day or two, up until 1987, humanity collectively was below 200 on the scale of human consciousness. So humanity was a parasite on the planet. Now, lower astral is, I'm not sure if it's sort of interweave with our physicality. This is, I don't have a good way to explain it. There are people here that experience very low consciousness calibrations. Are they astral people? Are they lower astral people is the good question. And if people die and their level of consciousness is under 200 when they die, then in spirit form they go to an astral plane known as the lower astral. This is the home of demonics. We call them demonics because they're parasites and they're intelligent. So intelligent parasites are toxic. That's not a good word. I don't want to use that. Intelligent parasites are highly dangerous. Highly, highly dangerous, because they will kill you for your energy, and the energy that they might be looking for is your energy in the form of your money. They'll kill you for your money. They'll kill you to steal things. They'll figure out ways to trick you into giving them money or whatever. Totally corrupt people that will lie, cheat, and steal. And they have no problem doing it. They will lie to you right in your face. These are demonics, and when they die, they go to the lower astral. So lower astral earth means it's like the Buddhist idea of the wheel of reincarnation, Why do you keep reincarnating into lower astral Earth? Because you are a toxic, negative, parasitic spirit. And if you're in a human form, incarnated in a human form, then you know you're a nasty person. And if you're dead, your spirit continues, and it's a lower astral spirit, and it'll still highly dangerous when it's in the lower astral. Why? Because it doesn't have the physical matter body, but it has an astral body. And what is the astral body? It probably looks just like this. Somebody says perhaps, anyway, you can keep going with it. This is basically why I want to explain lower astral, because planet Earth was a lower astral planet, even though I said earlier it was physical. Because how do you really tell the difference between astral matter and physical matter? This is really, it goes way back to, as I said, Madame Blavatsky in the 1800s, before quantum physics, when people thought that physicality was a real solid thing. Now, just as an addendum, well, what does it mean after quantum physics? After quantum physics, the idea of matter as being a unique thing is changed, because with E equals mc squared, matter is energy. Is astral matter energy? I don't know. It's very difficult to try and modernize these terms in a scientific kind of sense. Very difficult, because it's just before science was modern, and you're trying to get an idea of what people thought. That's what they thought. And as times change and as we get more sophisticated, these old terms are still kicking around. People wonder what they mean. So I hope I didn't muddy the waters too much with that one.